It's tax season, and at LifeLock, we know you're tired of numbers. But here's a big one you need to hear. Billions. That's the amount of money in refunds the IRS has flagged for possible identity fraud. Now here's another big number. 100 million. That's how many data points LifeLock monitors every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it guaranteed. One last big number. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit lifelock.com/podcast for the threats you can't control. Terms apply.
For one night only, you could play the Traitors live experience alongside former Traitors players and other famous faces at a special evening presented by Claudia Winkleman, raising money for comic relief. You could take on the likes of Rochelle Humes, Nish Kumar, Rosie Jones and Scott Mills, and legendary players including Linda, Mina and Diane. For your chance to enter and to see full T's and C's, go to comicrelief.com/traitors. This message was brought to you by Comic Relief in partnership with the lovely people at Acast.
Are you a lifelong fan of General Hospital? Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for June 21st through 28th, 2024. I'm mad at this week.
Yeah.
I'm very mad at this week. So for Port Charles Pipeline, we did receive one email. Let me get it. Jordan for Congress.
Nice.
Hello, ladies. Your thoughts on Drew running for office were so much on the same track as mine. I totally agree that Drew is getting this shot based on Jordan's ideas and his family name, obviously. Jordan should definitely be the one running for Congress. But I think she's going to get a different political opportunity. Mayor. If Heather's sentence gets commuted, many people in Port Charles are going to blame Laura. I bet Jordan will have people like Portia, Curtis, and Stella arguing Jordan to challenge Laura for her seat.
That's a good point.
Yep. And that is from Kimberly, from Kim. Love you guys. Stay school. Stay cool, not stay cool. School. Did you have Be Cool, Stay in School?
No.
In elementary school? We had a little Be Cool the Penguin. Oh my gosh, I'm looking this up. Be cool, stay in school. Why did that many people drop out in the 70s and 80s that's what we had to be told all the time in the 80s was be cool, stay in school?
So what do you mean you had like a day about it? Like what was your day?
It was a theme.
Okay.
Cool,
I remember like the posters that would say that like around school, but I don't know that it was ever anything more than that.
I'm just saying, like, why? I don't feel like they still tell kids that. And it was like it was drained in our heads. Stop, drop, and roll. Be cool. Stay in school. Be cool. 1988.
There you go.
So hold it. You didn't have?
No. Where did you see this at school? Did I show you this video?
Be cool. Stay in school.
If you want to be cool, stay in school.
That's Be Cool the Penguin.
Okay, so I have seen a poster with the Be Cool Penguin, but that like video, did they show you that in school?
PSA 1988. I don't remember that exact one, but it's from 1988.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember seeing that. I went to the Catholic school. Maybe they just like shamed you into staying into school and didn't have to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we had that.
Man. Yeah, I do remember the posters when I went to the public school. But I do not ever remember seeing.
But that was when you were older, though. So maybe they just didn't care. I guess they were so concerned with kindergartners dropping out that we had penguins.
I was going to say, so I went to the public school for kindergarten and 5th grade. So I remember seeing it here and there, but not a video like that. No.
Yeah. Huh. I mean, it has a song and everything.
Nice.
So that was really it for the Port Charles Pipeline with people writing in new casting credits, new pictures.
Mm-hmm.
They already removed Michael Easton on Thursday, even though that was his last episode. He wasn't even on the opening credits.
Right.
Like, use his old picture. It's okay for one day.
Yep.
So if you didn't know, which we didn't know until I was more upset about the fact that it was being talked about Wednesday night.
Yes.
Because you were prepared for it Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's Micheal Easton has left the show. That was it.
I don't understand. And part of it is because of not knowing. Like, I've seen different articles that said he left because he wanted to. And then I've seen other articles that said they just kind of like wrote him out and that was all. But I don't understand. If he needed time away, like, there's your 3 months to go to rehab. Whatever's going on, you could, even if he ended up leaving after the 3 months, that gave you time to come up with a different story. Like, he met someone in rehab, or he talked to someone in rehab and their family member in California has this crazy disease and he's moving to California to get a job there and solve their infectious disease issues, or whatever. Right. They could have waited to write him out until they saw if he wanted to come back after the 3 months, if it was his choice. I don't know why we just wrote him out. And then that obviously means that, like, what are we doing with Violet?
I mean, she's obviously going to be staying with, she's going to become Brook Lynn and Chase's legal. Okay, they will be her legal guardians.
Right.
But I'm just
sad at the way that it was done. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of if he really wanted off or if they just decided to write him off or what happened. But I feel like it was too soon after losing Gregory that now we're losing Finn too. And it's just not fair.
It's not. And we just said how great of a storyline this is. And they're finally using him to his capacity after, I'm sorry, I liked Finn. I had hoped that he would have started the neurodiverse conversation that, like, we had talked about when he first came. Where's Roxy? Where's Roxy?
Right. We never saw her in the apartment, and who's taking care of her?
And we never saw Violet saying, well, you're sad. Here's your emotional support animal, because that's what Roxy, man, so is Roxy moving into the Quartermaine mansion too? Like, what's happening here?
And that would have been a normal conversation. Do you get to take Roxy with you to the place that's going to help you stop drinking, or making a big deal? Or making a big deal to Chase and Brook Lynn that they have to go get Roxy and bring all her stuff there.
Yep. I don't understand it. I mean, I think he's a great actor. I really wish that they had done more with him, I guess.
Right. I feel like this was the point that they could have done anything with him. Like, if they wanted to keep him around, not that I wanted to watch them destroy his life, but they could have let it get a lot worse before he ended up in rehab. That would have showed his acting skills amazingly. Mm-hmm. Or they could have turned it around really quick and showed his skills that way of how he's coping and pulling through and whatever. I don't know. I really hope that it is true that he wanted to leave on his own and that, there's something great going on in his life that he needed to focus on. And that's why he's not there. Because if they just cut him out to cut him out, it does not make any sense. No.
Let's get through the rest of the intro, and then we'll just jump into that one first if you want, because there's a lot. But Blaze and Natalia are both on the opening credits now. I'm not against the fact that Natalia is, but I don't understand why Blaze wasn't
before that.
Yep. Before. Like, it's kind of not fair. She's been around for a year. Natalia's been around for what, 2-3 months?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And I think that's really it. Because we don't do spoilers, and there was 2 other ones this week.
Yeah.
That I saw. One was absolutely, completely unavoidable any which way you cut it, but we're not going to be the ones to say it. So,
right.
The other one, though, I am more mad about the fact that I didn't just trust my instinct of don't even look. Because I thought the article was going to go somewhere else is basically how that went. So, okay. This week's upcoming Port Charles 411 is going to be part 8 of Lila. Okay, so we have it finally broken down. Part 8's this week. The following week, so this week is unfortunately the end of the actress on the show. The following week, though, is a storyline I don't remember happening. Do you remember?
I don't.
So, okay, cool. But it pertains to the character, so it's important to still share it. And then the following week, we are going to talk more about when we've seen Lila since, in different ways that she's actually stayed relevant and impacted the show since her passing. Because I feel like there's been a lot of that. So
Right.
we have 3 weeks left, and then Amanda is working on finishing up Bobby. Well, maybe not finishing up the 90s of Bobby.
Right. Between Lila and Bobby, we're like done for the year.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. And I'm so sorry that we said we were having a fan spotlight summer and then this just didn't happen.
Nope.
But it's been fun.
We can have a fan spotlight fall or winter or New Year.
Or 2025. Who knows?
Right.
We will eventually get back to interviews because I do like them. I miss talking to other people.
Yes.
So let's get to Hulu headlines. On Monday, Tracy issues an ultimatum. Chase and Brook Lynn seek legal advice. Carly plots a bold move. Molly and TJ have a heart-to-heart. Ava gets an earful. On Tuesday, Jason and Elizabeth discuss their son. Carly opens up to Brennan. Anna makes a discovery. Valentine makes a proposal. Excuse me, got the hiccups. And Finn suffers a setback. On Wednesday, Trina delivers bad news. Ava's on the warpath. Mac visits Cody. Alexis makes a revelation, and Gio is alarmed. On Thursday, Chase supports Finn. Jason and Danny bond. Dante voices his concerns to Sam. Dex surprises Jocelyn. Dante is going to lose his ever-loving mind.
Yep.
The poor man. He's like, can you guys quit dragging me into your illegal activities, please?
Right. Like, why would you even tell me this?
And then on Friday, Carly and Jason clash. Sunny and Natalia get closer. Ava seeks out Laura. Brook Lynn and Chase make a big decision. And Blaze has some tough questions for Christina. So we just want to keep on with Finn and Violet and how all that happened.
Yeah, I guess so.
We start with Finn waking up asking where Violet is.
Right.
And Tracy showing him the pictures of him just sitting in the chair. And he said that he was sorry. I love Tracy in this whole thing. Because he's like, I'm so sorry she had to see that. And she's like, nope, she did not have to see that.
Right, exactly.
And she just reminded him how scared she was to see that. And she says that she reserved him a space at Sky Meadow Lodge. So there's a new business location for us. Reminds him that this has nothing to do with him. It has to do with Violet. Like, he wants to keep talking about Violet. He has to do this. And it does. It does have to be for her just as much as it is for him.
Right.
And she told, was that last week that they told Chase and Brook Lynn that they have to go to that they have to go to the Quartermaines?
Yes. Yeah, that was last week because they didn't want him showing up because they got the restraining order. And he did kind of say that this week, like, oh, I'll just go to the house. And she was like, please don't. Like, our staff's not going to let you. And do you really want Violet to see that happen? Like, come on.
Yeah. And Chase asked Yuri to make sure that the gate was locked and told him that Finn was not allowed on the premises.
Right. So Finn had another night of contemplating drinking, sitting there. Violet's not there. What's he going to do? Whatever. And then the next day he decided, after seeing Chase at, he hadn't made the phone call. So he saw Chase at the tree. And they had a heart-to-heart. And then he said that he thanked Chase for all the stuff that he did. And then he called the rehab place and said, I would like to check in. And they're like, good, we've been expecting you.
Yeah.
So I loved that. I mean, I expected Chase to let him see Violet, but I just loved the way that was all done. Of like, they were still sitting there. It wasn't like they left them alone so they could watch and make sure he didn't say anything stupid. And he I liked that he was honest with her, because I wondered when he first started saying, like, I'm sick, I thought she's gonna jump right to like, grandpa was sick and you're gonna die. Yeah. And so I was happy that he explained, no, it was an issue with alcohol and he needs to stop. But it was heartbreaking.
She could help him quit drinking.
Yes. Her performance was amazing. So
you missed the big thing of why it was such a big deal that he was allowed to say goodbye, because Chase and Brook Lynn got a restraining order against him.
Right.
And Diane went over and served him.
Yes.
And told him, you cannot see her. You cannot go to them. And then he called Scott for help. And Scott's like,
oh, yeah.
If there's nothing you can do. Like, this is, because he said something about, well, we'll get you some character witnesses from like the hospital. And Finn's like, I quit. And he's like, what?
Right. Yeah, that was after he had drank, like before he like all hit him or whatever. Scott was like, do you have character witnesses from there? How about from your AA group? And he's like, I haven't really been going there. Like, it was all just a disaster. And he was going on about suing the hospital and that Scott could represent him in both cases and make all this money. And Scott's like, dude, you're losing it. Like, no, this is not what's going to happen. You need to go get help.
And then he ordered 2 bottles of vodka and smashed them both against the wall. And that's when I think, is that when he went for the walk, or that was the next morning, was he went for the walk and then saw Chase?
I think it was later that day. I'm pretty sure it all happened the same day. He smashed him and then ended up going for the walk.
Yeah. Because in the meantime, while Chase was sitting on the bench, we saw Brook Lynn and Tracy talking, and Tracy's telling her, you're going to have to look at this as a more permanent situation. I've already talked with Monica and Olivia, and everybody's in agreement that Violet and you and Chase are welcome to be here as long as you need to. And Tracy told Brook Lynn that she was proud of her.
Yes.
And I love that everyone pointed out that maternal was not Tracy.
Yes, exactly. I was going to say, I love that even whenever Brook Lynn was talking to Chase about us staying, like, we're going to stay here and we're going to have all these different maternal figures, he was like, you didn't say Tracy. And she was like, she didn't say Tracy whenever she was telling us about it. So that was cute.
Great. That was really, really good. I was really glad that he told her that his problem was with alcohol, but I also really liked that he said that it was a problem with his head and his heart.
Yeah, right. I just wanted to make sure that he clarified that it wasn't like, although it is a health problem, it wasn't like he was going away to die kind of health problem. He was going away for help and it was going to be better. And then it was sweet that she asked Brook Lynn, like, tell me about this hospital that he's going to. Is he going to have friends there? Is he allowed to do stuff? And she was like, yeah, the people are going to be so nice and he can go for walks and he can do this and that, and like really made it sound like a very nice place. She was like,
sounds like camp.
Right, exactly. She was like, he's not going to want to stay in bed. There's going to be so many fun things to do. So yeah, that was sweet.
He did say that he was proud of her for calling Tracy, but I was more happy about the fact that he drove home the fact that he is not her responsibility.
Right. Because she just kept saying, I can take care of you. I can help you. I'll go with you. I'll show you not that you shouldn't drink. And he was like, yeah, no.
We can take care of each other.
Yeah.
That was really good. And then she gave him a bracelet and it wouldn't fit on his hand. Part of me really wants to know if that was actually written or if that was Joe Fiel giving Micheal a bracelet. I'm sorry.
Right. No, I'm sure that those scenes were extremely difficult for both of them to film.
Yeah. Well, both of them. And he just started on Instagram, and now he's leaving.
Right.
But he posted a video saying, oh, you know what? I'm just going to pull it up because I think it's funny. It's not funny, but it's funny. He's also going to be the guest star on today's State of Mind.
Nice.
Oops. Helps if I turn on the volume, huh? Okay, hold on.
I've always been partial to the Irish goodbye. That's where you leave the party without actually telling anyone you're gone. But I thought you all deserved better. So I just want to let you know I just filmed my final scenes here at General Hospital. I've loved every minute that I've been here. I want to thank the entire cast and crew for allowing me to share the stage this past 10 years. Most importantly, I want to thank all of you for the kindness and love you've shown me and my family. I won't ever forget you. And as I walk out here for the last time, and with apologies to the great Lou Gehrig, I feel like the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
I'm going to miss him.
I know. 10 years.
That's. And then Joe.
You're so cute. Try not to cry.
I just feel bad.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Like what you were saying before, I've been torn because they didn't let it get that bad, but then I remembered that it was that bad though when he was with Hayden. So
Right.
so this is nice to see that he relapsed and is taking care of it quickly. She's been on for 5 years.
Wow.
And she posted, "How do I say goodbye? Micheal and Jophiel have been working together on General Hospital for 5 years now, over 100 episodes. Today's scenes were absolutely heartbreaking. Were an absolute heartbreak. Jophiel doesn't lose sight of the possibility of her parents coming back to her GH life. The scene was way too familiar from the ones that she experienced in her first few months on set as her TV mother went through what felt like the same door, saying goodbye and never returning to this day." Exclamation point on that one. Poor Violet lost everyone. Jophiel was genuinely very sad. Her chemistry with Micheal on set was amazing from day one, as she always insisted to fix his hair before each take as a 5-year-old. Now she's 10, and tears were pouring. It was a very hard day on set, and everyone was tearing up. She managed to get through it like a pro. It was very emotional and also amazing, like a grown-up scene. Micheal, I speak as a mom today who has been there on set every step of the way, being so thankful for you and Rebecca Buttig's incredible love and instant connection with Jophiel. There is something to be said about TV families, and even more on a show like General Hospital, where the families have such a real bond as they are part of a long-lasting legacy. Like Jophiel does, I really hope you get to come back. Never say never. We love you, Micheal, and we thank you for everything. See you soon. And she wrote him a little, like she drew him flowers. And it says, "I love you." And then like on the inside of the card, it says, "I just want to say, I really hope you come back in 3 months. I love you." So the whole thing just stinks.
Yeah. But I'll have my fingers crossed that whatever's going on changes and he does come back in 3 months, because it would make sense.
I'm just glad we didn't have to see her go through seeing someone not care
Right.
about how it's hurting a child and then growing up to have issues because of it. Yay.
Right.
Who wants to guess where my issues come from? I know I don't really talk about it, but I was probably just about her age. I know it's a show.
But I mean, it's supposed to mirror real life. That's the reason that we get so invested in it. So it makes sense that things that are true to our lives would resonate so much with us.
I'm a little jealous of Violet right now, but that sounded horrible, but you know what I mean. Like,
yes. Because she has all those people that are stepping up to care for her.
10-year-old Shannon is like, dang, people do that?
Yeah, she's definitely well taken care of.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then how cute was when Brook Lynn and Chase finally like got her to bed and everything, and then Gio came down and he's like, "Yeah, so I was practicing and I guess Violet heard me and then couldn't find her way back to bed. So I got her to her room." Chase goes and checks on her. And then when he comes down, Brook Lynn's sleeping. And then they talk about what Tracy had offered. Or had they already started talking about it? And then that's when, that's when Gio came in.
Yeah.
But then he says, I was thinking about it because I get it. He's thinking after he dropped off Finn, he's thinking, okay, I can do this. I'm going to be there for her, and he's thinking it's all him. And it clicked after he went to check on her after Gio had put her back to bed. And he's only met her a couple times.
Right.
That entire house is filled with people that are there for them. And, but he's not used to it. He said, he's like, my mom was always off doing whatever. My brother was so much older than I was that we thought he was my dad for a minute. Like stuff like that. But yeah, they're going to officially move in, at least for the summer, into the mansion. What did he said something about when she made the comment that Tracy had an idea, and he said, "What did the Empress say?" Did he call her an Empress?
Maybe he did have a name. He did have a name. I don't know.
It wasn't the princess.
And it wasn't Princess. No.
I'm confused as to how Sasha and Cody don't know what's going on.
Right?
Like, are they just the help now? Like, is that just how we're?
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. She's cooking for all of them. She has not heard make an extra plate for Violet. Like, come on.
Well, no, she knows they're there. They don't know why she's there though. She's like, I overheard Violet, and she just seems sad. you know, and then
Yeah.
I overheard something like they didn't actually know that anything was happening. And I understand maybe not running to it, but I feel like exactly, you know.
Yeah, like FYI, Violet's going to be here for a while. Here's a list of her favorite things. And you would
Yeah.
just naturally be like, oh, that's nice, but like, why is she here? And
Is everything okay?
right, exactly. Yes. So I don't know.
So we're not going to think it's weird at all that Michael, Sasha, Brook Lynn, and Chase are all now living at the Quartermaine mansion.
Nope, it's perfectly normal.
Cool. Okay. But yeah, then Mac came to apologize to Cody for thinking he was a con man that could not be trusted.
Yeah. I was mad that he didn't take his opening there and tell him. He's been hawing around the fact that he feels bad. He hasn't told Mac the truth for a while now. And there's Mac saying like, oh, you really have become an important part of my family for the kids and everything. And he's like, yeah, that you're welcome. No problem.
So I didn't think about this when we were just talking about him. So dog Cody is sitting right next to me. So every time we keep saying Cody, he keeps like perking up. And I'm like,
Aww.
We're not talking about you, sweetheart. But we can find you a girlfriend named Sasha.
Shannon's going puppy shopping.
But right. And I mean, and Sasha basically said the same to him. It was, why didn't you say something? You know, it's
right. Like, how much more of an opening do you need than that?
Right.
There's never going to be a perfect time. Like, Mac's never going to come back and be like, are you sure you're not my son? For you to answer the question. So just throw it out there, man.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
I think the only other real thing with all of that is just Scott immediately went to Liz and told her, hey, Finn called me, told me some stuff. I will always be here for you and the boys.
Right.
Like that was great.
Yes.
Heartbreakingly great. They did, even though we're not happy about the fact that he's leaving or gone now.
Yeah, they did a good job with it.
A great job. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's open. So it's he's not going to be gone forever. Maybe we'll see him in 3 months.
I hope so.
Where do we go from there?
We had mentioned the ridiculousness with Dante and Sam being like, hey, I just want to tell you I did some illegal stuff and I hacked into the FBI database, but like, don't ask me who did that for me because Dante would have no idea who had computer skills to hack into the FBI. And he's like,
thank goodness they didn't delete it because, you know, they would have noticed that one.
Right. And he's like, you don't think that it's going to pop up somewhere that you used Agent Kate's ID to log in when he knows he wasn't logged in? You don't think it's going to pop up that you went right to these files and listened to this and whatever? And she's like, no, it's fine. No one can see what Spinelli does. Everything is great. Which, she, again, didn't say Spinelli. No one can see what my friend did. It's fine. And he's like, do you realize you're going to go to jail and be away from your kids? You're mad that Jason chose to be away from your kid for 2 years and you won't let up from this. So you're going to end up going away for way longer.
Yep.
How is that justified? And you just told me and made me like an accomplice to all of it.
Right. Between Sam and Sonny, he's like, guys, I'm a cop.
Right. He's like, I tried to give my badge back and everybody was like, no, you can't. And now you just keep spilling all this confidential, illegal information to me. Please stop.
And not even like a little crime. It's a federal crime.
Right.
So now he's an accessory to a federal crime.
Yes.
If
she
anything
didn't even use the hypothetically. You're supposed to say hypothetically if someone did such and such. She didn't even use the hypothetically. She's just like, yep, me and my friend broke into the FBI. It's fine.
And she even admitted that the reason she did it is because she was upset that Jason put Carly before the kids.
Right.
But then were they having that conversation while Jason and Danny were together?
Yes, because she was mad. She got home and Danny was supposed to be the only one that was home. And Dante was like, oh, his dad picked him up. They're going to the gym. And so then her whole focus was she just hopes that Danny doesn't find out that he left for Carly. But it's like, no, she's more angry that she feels like he wouldn't do that for her. It's not about the kids. It's her jealousy over Carly yet again.
Right. But the thing is, and we talked about this last week, he would do the same thing for her.
Yes, absolutely.
But I know we were bummed when Jason had to leave and was like under the rubble and everything. I am glad because they didn't have him really be a father the last time he was on after he came back. I'm loving this picking up Danny to go to the gym. The gym was closed, so they go to the garage. By the way, cleanest garage like I've ever seen. And Danny changed the oil and Jason guided him. And like they talked about it. And Danny's like, oh, did you do this with your dad? And he's like, no, Alan fixed people. I didn't learn how to do this until after my accident. And then they talked about the accident a little bit. And Jason's like, no, it's just really important to know because you never want to break down. And you can definitely see where Sam's talking about that Danny is excited about some of the situations that he probably fantasizes his dad gets into.
Right.
But Jason's not leading on to anything. And he's like, well, yeah, you never know where you might be.
Right. He did a very good job.
Someone's chasing you.
Right. He like didn't ignore the questions, but at the same time, he wasn't like, oh, let me tell you all about my mob experience. He was like, yeah, I've made some different choices. Things have happened since my accident and stuff, but no matter what vehicle you're driving or what's going on, you should know how to maintain it, and just kind of went with it and said to him, you can ask me more questions, but we should really get on to doing this oil change and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not trying to say, don't talk to me about any of it. Like, you're not allowed to ask questions, but he's not going to sit there and glorify it like, oh, I'm a wonderful person for all my dealings with the mob, which is exactly how it should be. Like, obviously not to the extreme of a mob, but as a parent, you're like, yeah, I've done dumb things before. I don't want to sit here and broadcast them. But at the same time, if you ask me point blank questions, I'm going to try to be as honest with you as possible because I'm human too. And you need to learn from my mistakes and take the advice that I was dumb enough to end up having to learn.
Right. Yeah. And Jason tells him that he can do anything. And Danny's like, except for algebra. And he's like, oh, I can. Who knew Jason was good at algebra? And he's like, well, I have to use it a lot. But then Danny's like, oh, well, do you play basketball? And Jason's like, not so much. He's like, well, I can almost dunk. And Jason's like, I can't wait to see that.
For one night only, you could play the Traitors Live experience alongside former Traitors players and other famous faces at a special evening presented by Claudia Winkleman, raising money for comic relief. You could take on the likes of Rochelle Humes, Nish Kumar, Rosie Jones and Scott Mills, and legendary players including Linda, Mina and Diane. For your chance to enter and to see full T's and C's, go to comicrelief.com/traitors. This message was brought to you by Comic Relief in partnership with the lovely people at Acast.
And then we had seen him with Liz asking if Jake still likes the Woodchucks and oh yeah, they're still his favorite team. He's like, okay, great. I think I'm going to get tickets. Do you think he'll come with me? And she's like, I'm not getting involved. I hope he does, but I'm not going to make him.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. And he's like, well, I'm going to buy the tickets and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. And she even said, like, you don't need my permission. And it's interesting to see, you know, Sam he did tell Danny, I'm not taking you on the bike until we talk about it with your mom.
Yes. I was glad to see that because when they first walked in, I was like, no, he is not taking him on a ride without saying something to Sam first, because I would flip out if my ex did that with one of my kids.
Yeah. But then Liz is like, you don't have to ask me to have a relationship with your son. Like, he's your son.
Right.
And I think Dante had absolutely no problem with, no, he's going to see his dad.
Right.
You know?
Even whenever they got home, he was like, oh, my dad's so cool. No offense, Dante. And Dante was like, no, that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to think your dad's the best. So
exactly. But then we saw back to the everything with Jason, Anna, Carly, everything. Jason called Maxie to make sure that Anna picked up.
Yes.
And Valentine made sure she hung up.
Yeah. I don't understand her angle.
Though. Sorry. She's going to have to call you back.
I'm
Sorry.
glad that you still love Valentine, even though he's evil and bad, but okay.
I am so conflicted right now with him.
You're Anna. You're literally Anna. She's like,
I am
I need
literally
to
Anna.
trap you, but we're going to the bedroom. Oh, okay.
Well, she even said she's done stuff like that before.
Yeah, I just, now that she's older, I don't like to see her using that same tactic. Like,
yeah,
I just feel like they have to be smarter and more mature. I would hope as you get older, you get smarter and more mature. Like, we're presenting it like at any age,
we're counting on this. We're counting on us getting smarter.
Yes, exactly. It's like no matter what age you are or what sneaky thing you're trying to hide, you can get information if you just seduce somebody. And I'm like, really? I hope that people get a little smarter as they get older. Like, I don't think I would spill the same secrets that I would have when I was younger just because I was in an intimate relationship with someone. You know?
Yeah.
Like, when you're younger, you like trust that means everything. As you get older, you're like, I'm still not sure that you're not manipulating me. So,
but this is where I'm getting so confused because, oh, dang it. I meant to go back because he had all the books were very easily visible. But I think that there's clues in some of them. But I was watching, I was doing my computer watching while working thing this week. And because again, after I saw the stuff about Micheal Easton, I was like, seriously. Right. But at first, when she mentioned, we keep thinking this could work, but we both know that it couldn't, especially after what happened with Charlotte. Right. And he said, well, not in Port Charles, it couldn't. And then he's trying to talk to her about getting away. This kind of puts me back to, well, you put Charlotte back in boarding school for her safety. Mm-hmm. Is he trying to get Anna out for her safety as well? Like, I've said it now like a million times. There has to be a good reason for all of this. But then for a second, I thought, oh my gosh, is he trying to punish her for what happened with Charlotte? And then I was like, no, because we've squashed that,
Right. No, I don't think that he's lying about his feelings over what happened with Charlotte, but I don't understand how Anna can just push it aside either. Like, I know at the end of the day, I can't be with you because of how I feel about the fact that I shot your daughter. So us ending up in bed together is probably not the healthiest decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It doesn't change the things that can't change.
Right.
So I just don't understand her angle. I was glad that Jason checked on her. Maxie's like, wait, why am I calling? And he's like, just do it. And she's like, okay. Yeah. So then she knows that Anna's okay. And then Anna and Jason meet up later. And she's like, you need to be more discreet. He's going to notice that you're just hanging out outside of his house. And he was like, well, I needed to see what was going on and what you were doing.
Yeah.
So.
But then in the meantime, Carly's asking Diane for help. And Diane's like, well, what'd you do? She's like, well, so somebody kind of has it on recording that I said I was the head of the Corinthos mob, and I guess that's a RICO violation.
Right. But I felt so bad for her because Diane's like, did you trade stuff? No. Did you import stuff? No. Did you kill anyone? No. Did you launder money? No. And so I'm like, yes, see, tell her that, like, you can get her off. It's all fine. And she's like, yeah, but being that you just had this run-in with the illegal trading and this, like, I still think that it's really only a 30% chance that I could get you off.
Well, not just that, her long history with Jason and the Corinthos organization and other.
Right.
Yeah. Because I did like that, because she even pointed out, well, we're in the world of deep fakes now, so they would have to produce the original. And Carly wouldn't tell her who gave her the recording.
Yeah, that was dumb. I'd have thrown Sam under the bus real quick.
Right. Well, I think that's going to kind of be what winds up happening. Then Jason came.
Sam deserves it.
But then Jason shows up and they fight. And he's like, she tells him, I know why you stayed away for 2 years. I'm not letting you do this. And then they just keep reminding her, like, Donna is still too young. Like, she really, really, really needs you. You can't go to prison for 20 years. And so she finally backs down. And then like 2 seconds later, she's like, never mind. I'm going to go do it.
Right. And even Jason's like, we don't know what's going on with Sunny right now, but Sunny is not in the place to step up and be a good parent to Donna.
Mhm.
So really, if you end up in jail, like, who is taking care of her?
Right.
And it really would make, Jason's like, it really would make the fact that I stayed away for all that time for nothing. So just
and Carly
continue.
had gone to see Brennan.
That made no sense to me.
None. It's okay. Spinelli went to see Carly and was like, you need to leave this alone, right? Like Spinelli told her, you need to leave this alone.
Right.
He won't let her, he didn't want her to tell Agent Cates she knew so that he would stop controlling Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And so she goes to see Brennan and she said something about like, I need to know if I can trust you. And he's like, you can't. And then she proceeds to trust him.
Right. She's like, oh, because you said that, I feel like I can trust you.
So then he says, there's no way they're going to let Jason go. Like, there's no way that even if they get you, that's not going to be it for Jason. And so Carly tells him, do you really think that they're actually going to let you go?
Yeah, he's like, no, but I'll keep doing this as long as I have to do it.
Yeah. Because then before she went to see Brennan, Carly and John had been celebrating taking down the bad guys. And they talk about, he's like, oh, I feel like you're my only friend here. And then he winds up leaving and they like wish each other luck, or she wishes him luck on closing up whatever it is that he needs to leave Port Charles.
Mm-hmm.
And then she mumbles under her breath. She's like, nope, no, I don't.
Yep.
I'm confused by all of that. Like, where are we going with all of this?
I don't know. There has to be like a piece of information that we're missing somewhere, because I don't see how Carly's going to get out of this. I don't see how Jason's going to get out of this. Like, either Valentine has some more information somewhere that we don't know about, or Brennan has something somewhere, because as it stands right now, they're all going down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, I was very frustrated that she went to see Brennan. Like, what are you doing?
I think there's only a couple things we have left, and it has really to do with, so Christina, Sunny, Allie, and Natalia have dinner together.
Mm-hmm.
And Ava came by, and Christina was like, no, you're not invited, because of what Ava did to assist in Alexis losing her law license, which then Sunny finds out that that's the reason why Alexis did. So he kicks Ava out.
Yep.
And she brings up, I've had your back all this time when Carly didn't, when Jason didn't, and like the rest of his family. And he finally asks her, are you up to something? Like, why do you keep reminding me of how much you're here for me? Like, why?
Right.
And then he said something about, remember, you killed Connie. Maybe I'll just, go ahead, sign off on something about that too.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, Trina comes over to get Ava's stuff.
And that was ridiculous too. Would you send Trina over for that stuff? Like, you don't have 1,000 other couriers that you could ask to pick up a freaking notebook. You put Trina in the middle, where then Sunny says to her, oh, please let Ava know she'll be hearing from my attorneys. I'm going to keep Avery from her, blah, blah, blah. Like, that was in no way Trina's spot to hear that and to have to relay that message. And I don't feel like that was normal of either one of them to put a 21-year-old in that position.
No, I agree. And Ava goes to Scott for help. Scott's getting a lot of business this week.
He is.
And he tells her, yeah, no, here's the deal. If Sunny even tries to do a little bit of character attack, you're not going to win.
Remember, your last name is Jerome.
Right. So then she kind of does a backup, and I guess he is going to, because then she asked Laura for help being a character witness, and really played up the fact that Sunny has been delusional lately. And Laura's like, I've noticed that too. I've noticed that he's not the person I thought he was. But yeah. So Laura did agree.
Yeah, but she played it off, right? She does know about that attack at the wedding, right?
I don't think she did. That's right, because Ava told her, because the look on her face, she didn't, I don't think Laura ever saw Dex.
I wasn't sure if Jordan had told her.
Because then she was really surprised that Christina had seen it.
Right.
And at first she was like, I'm not getting involved in this. And she's like, Because she also said what you said earlier about between the two, right now, Sunny is too erratic to be taking care of Avery. So,
Right.
and she even pointed that out though to Ava. She's like, yeah, right now between the two of you, it has to be you.
Yeah.
And they talked a little bit about Nicholas and how no one's heard from him and blah, blah, blah. But then we see Sunny and Natalia having drinks at the Metro Court. And I was so confused by their entire conversation because they keep talking about like how they've both been betrayed by so many people and forgiveness. And Sunny's like, I try to forgive. And Natalia's like, I do too. First of all, why are they having so much glass near the pool? Like she was in the pool and like, sorry.
Nope. You gotta have plastic.
Exactly. But then they keep talking about like so much darkness and the ghosts of their past, but it was like all so insanely vague. It sounded like they were having two separate conversations.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what are we talking about right now? But he did tell her not to cross paths with Ava.
I just don't understand how or why they're trying to put them together because she is so critical of everyone. There's no way she can be with Sunny with all the stuff that he does. And I'm assuming there's some family background there that Sunny is going to know since he was part of L&B. And that will also just make everything complicated if he tried to be with her once that comes to light.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I just think it's weird. I'm sorry, but if you were single and one of your children brought home their significant other and then you met the father of them and he was single too, would you be like, hey, you know what sounds like a great idea is if you and I start dating since our kids are dating?
Right.
That's just weird.
That is weird. I guess the only thing to get there we need to talk about TJ and Molly.
Yeah, they were like working things out, but hadn't called Christina and told her that yet. And Christina's like, oh, I haven't heard from them in 5 minutes. So now I'm going to jump to the fact that I may have to keep this baby. And Blaze is like, yeah, we talked about kids someday, sometime, but no, I don't want to help you steal your sister's baby.
Well, that's not. So Molly goes home and TJ's like, so are you avoiding me? And she's like, no, there was just a really big car accident at or traffic at 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
But he actually apologized and he suddenly remembers that he was also part of the conversation that okayed Christina being their surrogate. And so they did. They talked through it and everything. And okay, they were being jokingly delusional about their expectations of parenting, right? With that kid's never going to want to play on a tablet. You know, it's only going to be, they were being sarcastic because I know some people aren't.
I think they were saying that like that would be ideal, but realistically, we know how kids are.
Like they're going to have chicken nuggets.
Yeah, like would like to be those parents that say no tablet, no chicken nuggets, no this, no that, but
only grass-fed organic everything.
Yeah, we're gonna end up caving because that's what most people do. So
okay, but yeah, because then Christina went to Alexis for help to keep the baby. But we were right though; she's only looking to get the baby for Molly,
right?
But like that is her intention. But then what really confused Blaze is when they were looking at the resumes for the director of the center and Christina used the word maternity leave.
Right.
And I don't blame her for saying that because she's not the mother, the mom.
Right. But her body is going to go through that experience and your body needs time to heal and your hormones need time to get back into somewhat normal of a cycle. And that's a lot to deal with if you're trying to run a brand new center for troubled youth.
Right. And so that's where she was like, wait, maternity leave? Like, why don't you just take family medical leave? And it's like, yeah, but I understand where Christina said it. But then as she's talking about this stuff with, I always just say Blaze. We know that her name's Allie. You know, we know that that's what Christina calls her. So if we jump back and forth, it's no disrespect for anything other than we just keep forgetting. She straight up asked her, are you going to try to get custody for Molly? And she's like, yeah, because she has no right to this baby.
Right. That's what she said. Like legally, Molly has no rights. And it's not fair that like I carried this baby. I didn't do it because of how much I like TJ. I did it for my sister. And so I want to make sure that she has her baby.
But then she threw out the hypothetical of, okay, so what if this doesn't go the way that I want it to? And like, but Molly still needs a co-parent, you know, like what if, you know, see, that's how I thought she was saying with because she did. She said, you know, you mentioned before you wish this baby was ours. What would you think? I took it more as if TJ and Christina separate, or TJ and Molly separate, and she has to fight for custody of the baby, obviously she's going to have to do some kind of a parenting, even though she pretty much wants her sister to raise the baby. That's where I'm so confused. Like, I mean, what can happen? But I'm glad to see it sounds like it's really not going to be an issue. But you're right. Like, they need to kind of tell Christina that.
Right, exactly. That should have been, hopefully that will be what we see next week is Molly calling her and being like, hey, TJ and I had a long talk. He even said he was overreacting. He owes you an apology. Like, we really appreciate what you're doing. And we did make this decision, you know, just like you're having feelings and hormones and all that kind of stuff because of what you're going through. Like, we have our side of it too, where it's getting closer and we're freaking out as new parents and maybe not being 100% rational.
When are they having the baby shower?
I don't know.
Why aren't we having a baby shower?
Maybe you don't do that if you have a domestic partner.
It's not about them. It's about the baby.
I know. Like, aren't they painting the nursery like some very neutral color? Didn't they have a conversation about that?
I honestly don't remember.
I feel like they're low key about it.
Well, I guess I don't know. Like, why is it Alexis? Maybe because they are using a surrogate and because the surrogate is Christina. Maybe they don't want
have a welcome party.
Yeah. My son was at my baby shower because he's end of April is when he was born. And one of my sisters was graduating from college and my family was coming down from Boston. And I was like, I want them to be at my baby shower. So we're going to have my baby shower when everyone's down here.
Oh, nice.
Because it was only a month. Right. You know, and so he had little khaki shorts and a little vest and a little bow tie. It was adorable.
Oh.
And now he's 22.
All right.
Ugh. I guess that's probably a good segue. I don't think there was anything else.
No, I don't think so. Oh, we saw Joss for a minute talking to
the
Joss. They're gonna have a date and see where things go.
I like how they are fixing her.
Yes.
And I don't like throwing around the word but they are fixing her. And she is owning it. She is saying, yes, I realized I'm kind of a jerk. So, yeah.
But anyway, that is a good segue into reality check. Reality check. What was your reality for this week?
I honestly have no idea. To the calendar. I just feel like I was nonstop all week. Oh, we went to the AJR concert. That was Tuesday. That's right. So I took my daughter to her first concert 2 years ago, and it was AJR. And then when they were coming back, she really wanted like Auntie Erica and JD and her brother to see the show. And so we went, and they put on such a good show. And like before I went to the first one, I knew a couple songs, but I didn't really know a lot. And then she's kind of spoiled because if she goes to another concert, she's going to realize they don't put on shows like that all the time.
Yeah.
And they actually came out into the audience, and not just in the way that, I mean, a lot of artists come into the audience, but they actually took seats, sat down in the audience and played a couple songs. And it was really, really cool. So that was a good time. And then we just took a drive up to the top of Mount Washington and looked over the city. That was pretty much it. Yeah. How about you? I'm boring. Sorry.
No, I'm pretty boring too. Madeline was at the Vacation Bible School. It's super popular around here all week. So She was entertained, and I just kind of tried to focus on like cleaning up the house some. Megan got her first big girl job. She got hired by one of the local school districts to be a support person for the autistic classroom. So I'm excited. I'm excited for her. I think it'll be.
You text me, and now I'm thinking. I'm like, because I think I was driving when you text me. Did I respond?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Yeah. I think it'll be a good fit for her, and a good like what direction she wants to go, and if that's something she wants to stick with, if she wants to go on to some type of therapy provider, if she wants to be a teacher, like, just to get in there and see what she's going to do. So I'm excited. She's like in charge of making sure that like their IEPs are followed and that kind of stuff. So it is a very grown up job. And so she'll start whenever school starts. So I'm happy for her. Hopefully it will help her grow up and she will be a good influence on the kids that she gets to help. So that'll be good. That. Yes. And I don't think there's anything. Oh, I chopped my hair off.
Oh, that's so cute.
Thank you. It looks cuter whenever it's like done. Like I did it Thursday and like she took the time to like blow dry it all and straighten it all and whatever. And it looked really, really pretty. And then, I had to take a shower and afterwards I was like, I don't feel like taking the time to straighten it. So next time that I see you, it'll look like all cute again because I'll take the time to do it. But I just needed a change. So chopped it off.
I need a trim. The night that I was supposed to be getting my hair trimmed was the night that Erica tore her ACL. And I just never rescheduled.
Oh, that's awful.
So I'm actually due for a trim from what that appointment would have been. So
there you go. There you go. So
I'm like months behind.
Yeah, I'm the worst. Like I'm just the worst. That's one thing I do not schedule regularly for myself. And the girl that's cut my hair has done it for 20 years now. And she's like, you wouldn't feel like you desperately need a haircut if you would come in regularly and let me just get some of the bulkiness out because my hair is ridiculously thick. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I need to get better about that. Like add it to the list of things that I need to just be better at being a grown up about. But she cut it and took out a bunch of the bulk. So I feel like refreshed. So
love it.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Boring week.
Sometimes boring is good.
True.
So join us on Thursday as we talk a little bit more about Lila.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to pier54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Pier 54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at pier54podcast@gmail.com.